Hi, this is Danielle Harris, and you're watching Death Curse Society.
Just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run late. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Woo! Welcome to another Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society, everybody. I'm Red Crank. I've got Zigzag, and I've got the Colonel.
Wow. Big one tonight, folks.
Yeah. In fact, we're not even going to dilly-dally or dicky-dally or whatever the term is. I don't even know what the term is. I think it's dilly-dally. Is that right? Who cares? Who cares what it is?
Yeah.
We're going to get right into it. First, I do want to thank our members. Thank you guys. Of course, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Tyrone, our Crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors, 42nd Street, Pete, Corey, Luke. Welcome back, Luke. Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. And of course, our associate producer, C-Phase, who will hopefully be here shortly to help out in the comments and all of that jazz. So
He's producing remotely today, apparently.
that must be what he's doing. I wonder, he
produce remotely every time though.
He got his tattoo. Well, yeah, he got his tattoo finished today, so I'm curious about that. But we have some special guests for us this evening. We have there's a big event going on later on this month at the Buffalo Bills house in Pennsylvania. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we will share the link here in the comments momentarily. Check out buffalobillshouse.com for more information. They are going to have Brooke Smith return to Buffalo Bills house for the first time since filming back in probably 1990 for a very big film. And we've got the house owner. I'm going to bring him in right now, I think. There we go. I'm just making sure he got the cue. I'm going to bring him in right now, Mr. Chris Rowan. Chris, how are you, sir?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on Death Curse Society. I feel like this has been a couple of years in the making. We keep seeing each other, but ships in the night, so happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm glad we finally got you on, man. I'm glad something, the paths crossed just right for this.
The planets aligned, as it were.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
Absolutely. No, I've been waiting for a while to do it. You guys are great. It's a great show. Listen to it myself quite a bit, and happy to have you guys have me on for a little bit. Have some fun.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Well, we appreciate you jumping on, and we're glad to talk about this event you've got coming up. So we're going to get your special guest, and correct me on the dates. Is it September 22nd through the 24th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
September 22nd through the 24th at Buffalo Bills house. It's about 30 minutes outside the city of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania.
All right. Well, let's bring your special guest and ours for the evening, but you get to spend a lot more quality time with her than we will tonight, I believe. But, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Brooke Smith, acclaimed actress and just all around badass. Hello, Brooke. How are you?
You guys have the busiest backgrounds, and I'm like so boring.
Fine.
So boring.
This is the last 5 years of going to horror conventions all across the country and collecting stuff, because I really didn't collect stuff like this until I met these guys and we started doing this show.
It's an addiction, and
It is.
We're gone. We're long
Yeah, it
gone.
makes sense. It makes sense, and it's good you put it up because I collected Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds stuff for like years, like posters and every single, and they're all just kind of in a box, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a smattering of the boxes of stuff that's behind me, you know.
Oh, yes.
It looks like a smattering.
Yes.
It does.
It does. Well, Brooke, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm very anxious to have you on here and talk about some stuff. Of course, we're going to get into Silence of the Lambs here in a little bit, but I wanted to ask you first about this current SAG strike. I wanted to get... I saw a photo of you outside of Warner Brothers not too long ago, and it seems like you're one of the active ones, one of the active members out there quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag though. Like when I go, it both makes me feel good because I see friends and we're all kind of, but then you're so aware that the only people who need to see you are the only people who are not there supporting you. You know what I mean? Like trucks drive by, like everybody is on our side, it seems, except for the ones who, aren't here. Thus the glass of wine, P.S. When you said the strike, I was
Well, we don't have to dredge on it too long, but I just wanted to kind of get your idea of like what are some of the misconceptions that maybe the general public doesn't understand about this strike, and is there anything that fans and viewers can do to support the SGA and the WGA during this time?
That's a really good question. I know that they have these places you can donate money, not that anyone has any money, it seems, these days, myself included. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It doesn't feel like it's going to end anytime soon.
It doesn't.
They kept saying Labor Day. Isn't today Labor Day?
Today is Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
What is Labor Day about?
Well, it's like that end of summer, that last, you're supposed to.
Yeah, like no linen after.
The official end.
After.
Yeah.
I know there's some department store sales.
Yeah, I know. I was looking, but not the ones I wanted. Oh well.
There's big mattress sales about right now.
Oh really?
If you need bedding.
A mattress? No.
I got one last year. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good too. I'm all good.
No. It's...
Hi, Chris.
What's up, Brooke? How are you? Good to see you.
I'm okay. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
So, okay, then, how did you say there are places that people can donate and?
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't it be better if I knew what they were? I think if you go to any social media, and you go to, well, I worked with John Carroll Lynch, and he posts them all the time. I think it's the Actors Fund, the Motion Picture Fund, all these different kinds of things. But, yeah.
We will track that down. All right. Yeah. Well, okay. Let me ask you then, how did you and Chris meet up, and how did the original idea for this collaboration to bring you back to the house come about?
Chris?
Well, okay, I'll go. I'll take the first one. When I got involved with the house, it's coming up actually. This weekend is actually our official 2-year anniversary. We actually opened up Labor Day weekend, 2021. After purchasing the house, the main format is like a traditional Airbnb. You could rent the whole house out and privately, and we also do guided tours. But long term, wasn't ready to unroll special events just yet. I kind of wanted to get the wheels greased and get it operating as a business. But long term, I kind of always envisioned these special events, and I've been kicking around in my mind for some time, and Brooke was at the top of my list for special engagements. So, I met her earlier this year, was working Monster Mania in Cherry Hill. and she was doing an appearance, and just kind of reached out and said, hey, have this thing going on. And I think Brooke was aware of, at least loosely had heard of Buffalo Bill's house at that point. And, we chatted and, invited her to come and come back for the first time since filming. So.
Yeah, I've been, like I said,
Nice.
I've had therapy. I think I can handle it. There's been enough time. It looks nice though. It looks like a place I would just want to go and stay actually, but.
Oh, thank you. We certainly put a lot of effort into it. Kind of the idea behind it, of course, pay respects to the film, of course, and make it grandiose in that regard via the sets, the basement, of course, the workshop, Bill's workshop, and of course the well. The well was built in partnership with Tom Savini and his special effects program. He runs a school in the Pittsburgh region. Which is really great. And the lead designer, a guy named Jerry Gergely, was actually one of Ted Levine's makeup artists on Silence 30 years ago. So pretty cool to have that all kind of tie in. And, special events was paramount for me. I always kind of envisioned, a place where not only could people experience, the house in a private format or take a tour, but then, why not open the house out to, these special events and let people kind of come get a taste of it, in the flesh, if you will, with talent. Brooke was obviously, like I said, the first, hopefully, of many to do it. And we're super jazzed to have her later this month, September 22nd through 24th.
Doesn't this feel like the beginning of a horror movie right here? Like, we're going to bring her back. It's going to be great. You guys, meanwhile, you're all in on it. And I'm just okay, I'll go.
It's like the most meta sequel ever.
There's a secret here, man. We're giving it away for free. We gotta sell this damn thing.
Yeah, we'll just we'll just film the whole weekend and cut it up, and it'll be its own film. 2024. Keep an eye out for it.
There you go. Well, Brooke, most of your work on Silence of the Lambs entailed sharing the screen with the wonderful Ted Levine. I want to know from you what it was like working with him, especially on such emotionally draining scenes, like being in that well for so long. I'd read where even Jodie Foster referred to you as Patricia Hearst because you and Ted became so close.
And she said that because she had done The Accused, I guess, right? Like right before that. And she said it was the same with her. She'd go out to dinner with all the guys who raped her in the movie, just because you just feel like, it's so icky and weirdly intimate. And, so Ted and I were thick as thieves. And, it's funny because there's so much I've forgotten even to this moment because I was going through journals recently and I had no idea we went back to do an additional, I didn't remember. I thought once we wrapped, but it said
had to do reshoots.
Yeah, we had to go back and get another shot and it was of Ted and it was, in the pit. It was that whole thing. So that was interesting. I thought, how weird. I didn't remember that. And I'm thinking, you just reminded me, Chris, I'm going to have to bring all my photos to show you because I walked all around that set and took pictures.
I would love to see that if you would be so kind. That would be amazing. I'd be happy to see them. It'd be an honor. Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be great reference for remodeling the house as you go forward.
Absolutely. We keep it a little bit cleaner than Ted did. Just a little bit. Not so much newspaper and 3-week-old Chinese food containers on the kitchen, but a little bit cleaner, but just as authentic.
P.S. Who was in the bathtub?
I'm sorry?
Who
in the
was
movie?
In
the bathtub? There is a shot, right? Still?
Yeah.
Oh, the bathtub shot. Well, a lot of fans who have taken the tour have mentioned they're always kind of harking on the basement, of course, for obvious reasons. Is the well there? I tell them, of course, it was a sound stage, but we recreated it, the workshop, and they want to know just how much was shot in the basement. And it's really, it's a mashup. Obviously, it's quite a bit of sound stage. There were sequences shot in the basement as well. The recreations of the Buffalo Bill's Workshop of Horrors and the well have just been so well received by fans. It's truly humbling that that concept and that idea was just kind of rattling around and, how can I bring this, to fruition and make it viable for people to, kind of take the experience from, it's a filming location, but kind of take it to the next level. And the feedback that I've gotten has just been, really, really positive. I'm very appreciative for all of it. As a small family business, it seems like it's been welcomed with open arms by the, film community, the cinephile community, people who love movies, and not just horror fans, fans of all genres. So, for that, I'm super appreciative.
Great.
But P.S., how cool are horror fans? Like the coolest.
We've been saying it from day one. I mean,
Lifelong.
fans all over the states. And
I mean, like I don't think I've ever. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think I've ever met anyone. I really seriously.
We always say it's the horror fans and the punk and metal fans are the best two communities. Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Won't deny that.
Chris, you've got some fans in the comments already for the location.
I know Janelle. Hey, Janelle. What's up?
The house is awesome, so beautiful and peaceful.
Janelle has stayed with us. Yep. Eric.
And then Eric says, I can't wait to go back to the Buffalo Bills house. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Eric is coming to meet Brooke. I just saw him last week at the New Jersey Horror Con. He picked up his ticket for the event, feedback has been really positive. Super appreciative. People are excited. I've gotten some very endearing emails about this event. People saying this is so great and so glad that someone could do something with this house. There's so many great locations that are either privately owned or closed off to the public, or people just don't appreciate what it is. Someone just happens to live there. I know that was the case with the Goonies house out in Oregon for many years. I believe it's changed ownership in the last year and they're more Goonies friendly now. The comments that I've gotten from people about the event, and people just seem super excited. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
There's just something about visiting a place like that that's iconic like that. I mean, for example, the Dawn of the Dead airfield has just been leveled. It's gone now.
I did hear that. I did hear that recently. Yep.
It's devastating. So the fact that you have a unique thing here with the Airbnb going on with it too. But I mean, I wanted to ask too, do you have power? Like, can you go in there when they're in there? Can you kill the whole house lights like in the movie and pitch black there?
We keep it, it's a breaker box like any other home, but no, I mean, some people ask, what is Buffalo Bill's house? What exactly is it? Some people think it's a haunted attraction, like with actors, something you get during the spooky season. I meet people all the time at shows or, wherever, and, I'm always clarifying. I'm like, no, it's really kind of like a hybrid in my eyes. I did want to keep the home traditionally Victorian in its aesthetic. I do work in the film business. I'm a art director and a prop stylist. So, and I've done that for a long time, since the early 2000s. And, I'd like to think I have a pretty good eye for detail. But then, of course, pay respects to silence and kind of give it, this perfect, walk a razor thin line of paying respects to the movie, but keeping the home itself both period correct and also very inviting and welcoming.
Just having conversations over the last couple of years, you strike us as the kind of guy that might fuck with some guests once in a while, Well, a lot of guests have asked about, do you have night vision goggles yet? And that is something I want to do. I'm trying to work with a fabricator. Of course, being a prop guy and stuff, of course, you get a couple $100, you could buy any pair of night vision goggles, no big deal. But I'm trying to replicate the pair that Ted wore in the film and have them grafted onto a modern set to replicate it. Of course, authenticity is paramount. I did read 2 years right on the cusp of opening that the original pair from the movie sold at some movie auction something in the realm of $25,000 to a private collector. The pair that Ted wore in the movie, a little out of my price range for a prop, but. If that guy is watching, reach out to me. Maybe we could work something out.
We'd love to borrow them from time to time.
Love to borrow them.
Yeah,
Love to borrow them.
5.
Oh, man.
Excellent.
Lord.
I
Colonel?
had some really cool stuff, Chris. You would just be so mad if you knew about stuff that I had that I got rid of, like the Tootsie Roll. They made some of the larvae, of the death's head moth into.
Okay.
They had this like mold, and they would press Tootsie Rolls
Mm-hmm.
and make them into larvae. And I had
Okay.
of those, and I don't know. I guess after like 10 years, even a Tootsie Roll.
Right.
Doesn't-
Not worth holding on to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, I mean, that's a great piece of trivia. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from you in our time at the event, and would love to share that knowledge with the people who tour the house in the future. That's cool. I was very appreciative. The woman who owned the home back in 1990, the family that lived there, she did give me a lot of great tidbits of information just from her personal experiences of the movie being shot, and a lot of those weren't public knowledge and stuff, and it really helped me kind of see it from her eyes. I mean, I had my concept, but to hear it from her and learn about it, I think learn every day, and always keep growing and stuff like that. So it was really fascinating to hear her tidbits of filming, and she did gift a number of items from the film to the house, like some wallpaper samples that she had held on to for 30 years, an original call sheet, production blueprints, things of that nature.
Very nice.
Have you seen this thing? I just found it, and I just realized that I did not throw it out. My brother has it. I saw a photograph of me the other day, and in the background, I remember having a framed blueprint of the set of the pit, of the house, actually. And it was from the production designer, and everyone signed it. And it says Gum the Game, and they made it into a board game.
Like Clue.
Wow.
Can you believe this? It's like, duh. I just didn't even, I forgot all about it, and I saw it, and I was like, oh shit, I hope it's not gone. And I called my brother. He's like, no, I have it in the basement. I've been saying, come get it. So,
It's a great place to keep it.
I know.
You're just saying nobody has any money? Wait a minute.
I know. Guys, I gotta go.
Get a Indiegogo for the James Gum game going ASAP.
I wonder, have you ever seen those? Because there must be some around.
Well, it's interesting you mention it. So I do have it's not an original for sure. It is a replica, but I have the house itself, the blueprint schematic, a copy that was left behind during wrap out that the homeowner held on to for over 30 years. So she made me a copy of her copy. It is on display in our game room. It's not that one that you speak of. And then randomly, so I do have that. And then very recently, maybe 6 months ago, I met a gentleman at a show promoting the house who claimed that his mother worked at the plant, the Westinghouse plant, back right where the pit really was, which is now demolished, from what I'm told. But he said that he may still have it, or the mom may still have it. I don't know. And then I said, well, here's my number. If you ever find it, let me know. And it took all of a week. And that gentleman called me up and said my mom found it. It wasn't an original, but it was a replica. And he also made me a photocopy, so we have it on display next to the well room. And it says, the gum cellar, basically. Pretty amazing. It's got the production blueprint dates on it. It's got the stamp from the studio.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is, but they just made it into a board game.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
It was really good.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, it's super rad that people are coming forward with that type of stuff. I mean, I never would have thought that people would volunteer that, but there is certainly a sense of community, in the horror genre and stuff. And I think people just, love to be a part of it and make experiences better. So,
Cool.
Colonel, do you have a question for Brooke?
Yeah. And, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring the room down a little bit.
Okay.
But Brooke, I just recently rewatched Silence of the Lambs for preparation for tonight. And I'm sure you've been asked this before, but as an actor, how do you get ready to film such emotional scenes? Like that is just, I just can't imagine pretending. I'm sorry, just be in that situation. Yeah. Like I can't imagine it. So
yeah, no, it was horrifying to even, first I wanted it because I thought I couldn't do it. And then when they said, okay, you got it, there was this sentence in the script that horrified me. And it was like something about, the the bucket's going up, and she can see the nails on the wall.
Mhm.
And she screams and screams and thrashes around. And I just thought, oh my God, shit, what if I can't do that? Like on the day, like I've never done that, you know, like what the hell? So I don't know. I mean, I did lock myself in my parents', they had this weird storage area in the basement because I thought, oh, I'll just check that out and see what it's like. But I was more scared beforehand. Like I kind of messed with my own head and thought, you know, what that would be like. And then when I was there, yeah, I don't know. It was very intense. It was very, when I do my job the best, I feel a release of myself. And I felt that in this.
Mm.
You know, like I was gone. So I lose myself, which I love doing that. So, yeah, it was pretty cool though. It was cool. Yeah.
Nice. I want to talk about Jonathan Demme for a little bit.
Okay.
Because he's probably one of my favorite directors from the 90s. Rest in peace to his fine work. And Silence of the Lambs and Philadelphia are probably two of my all-time favorites. What was it like working with him, and especially on such grueling scenes like this that you had during filming?
Yeah, he just made me feel safe in some kind of little like world with him. Like I knew he was watching out for me. He was gonna make sure I was okay or whatever. But he really did push me though. He pushed me for sure. He was like, there, you can't not go to, you know, there's no going too far. Like, you know, and he was also the kind of guy, I lament it to this day. I don't think I've ever really seen it again, I have to say. The kind of person who makes you feel like, oh my God, I'm so glad he hired me. Like every single member of the crew felt that way, you know, like that they felt that he felt that they were the best one for the job, and that he would just let you do what you do, you know. He was just like the best. So it felt like a party, but you wanted to like make him proud, you know. He was just a really, really great guy. And he did, you know, he did get heavy with me, and there was some kind of FBI guy around, I remember, you know, because we did shoot. I looked this up just to make sure I wasn't insane, but we shot the whole end of in the pit. We shot that whole thing in like 26 hours. Like, wow. Have you read that, Chris? I'm not.
I have not. So I'm eager to hear. Please continue.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm going to I'll get all my stuff and bring it.
Oh, thank you.
But
amazing.
There was a choice made. Like, should we wrap for the day and come back, or should we just kind of keep going through this? And we just kept going through it. Anyway, what was I going to say about that? Why am I saying that?
You worked for 26 hours on that last sequence.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Something. Oh, for God's sakes, it's gone. It's gone, you guys.
Oh, all right.
Well,
all right.
Well, about Jonathan Demme. I mean, he was one of the first directors when I was growing up that I realized, at least, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention beforehand, but I realized he was portraying a real sense of empathy for his characters, even as villains.
Yeah.
And did Demme's personality and empathy kind of help you feel comfortable while filming? And were you able to grab anything from that to help you along with those scenes?
I mean, it's hard to explain, but I really did mind fucked myself. Like when I think of being in the pit, I remember when they would take the walls out and put the camera there, you know, and so there would be like the cameraman and the assistant cameraman and the still photographer, just a small group of guys there. And I remember literally looking at them and thinking, okay, not only are these guys not helping me, like I'm suffering here, but they're actually exploiting me. Like that's how far gone I was. Okay, I was a young, serious actress, and I just was like, yeah, I just had to. I don't know. It was crazy, and I could never do it again. By the way, to answer the Colonel's question, I feel like I don't know if I could do that again.
You don't think you could go back there?
I don't know. Like a few years back, I did one of those CSIs, I guess, you know, but it's always the women are always getting raped or their kids are getting killed and raped. And, you know, I was like, no, not in the mood ever. But there was one where a woman, her child gets taken, you know, so she's like in the park and has that scene where, you know, she has to react to that. And I thought, I'm going to do this to see if I can do this. Like, I want to see if I can do this. And P.S.
No.
I did it. I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know. Maybe because it was only scale that they were paying. I'm not sure. But I just thought, I'm not buying it. Yeah, it's a lot. My God, that's a lot, right? Whew.
Yes. Yes.
I can imagine. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I could have gone that dark of a place. Even being a horror fan, like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Very dark territory.
Oh, and what I started to say before, was over that 26-hour period, we were all demolished and we were kind of walking around like zombies. And that's when that FBI guy came up to me, and he was really kind of mysterious in my mind, the way I remember him. He kind of basically just said, like, I think you're doing a great job. I've actually seen this in real life.
Wow.
Kind of thing. And impressive. I was like, ugh. Yeah.
Was this possibly John Douglas? Was that the consultant, the FBI consultant that you guys had from the behavioral unit?
It might have been. He had a suit on.
I know he was heavily involved for a while.
Yeah. 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 So I don't know. It's going to be a trip. I'm looking forward to it.
I got one here.
All right.
You also, we found out you were reading for Clarice before catching the role. No, this isn't true.
No, you know what it is? I know how that got mixed up. It's because Jonathan asked me if I would read with the 3 finalists to play James Gunn. Okay. And so one of the scenes I read was at the door, was she a great big fat person? That scene. So I think that's probably why people.
I got you.
There you go.
Yeah, that was that's one of those IMDb trivia tidbits that is sometimes wrong. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it says that happened. Yeah, I mean,
it says that you.
Really? Did that happen?
It says that you read for Clarice, but but no. I didn't.
I'm kind of curious. You said the 3 finalists. Can you cite who the other 2 were?
The first one, I don't know his name.
Okay.
He was wearing a robe, but like a silky robe. He had he was full like. Jonathan would introduce us, and I would basically say, look, man, whatever you need, do you want me, whatever you want me to do? And he was like, he had it all planned. But it wasn't, it was all right.
Okay.
Sorry,
all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Yeah. Then Ted came in, and it was like, are you fucking kidding me? He walked in the door with this attitude of he had this behavior going on. I don't know. He was just they were like, thank you for coming. And he was like, you flew me here. And I was just like, oh shit. Oh my God. And then the third guy, I see him, he still works. I see this guy. He had the part going into it because he was pretty much like he had it in the bag. And then not after Ted. Yeah.
Was it?
That was
I think I read this. Was it Ed Harris?
No, he wasn't one of those guys. He
wasn't one of the 3.
We did some reading, I think, once of it, and he was one of the CIA guys or FBI guys or something. But yeah, and I asked Ted too because I thought, shit, if you have to be that good at an audition, I'm never gonna work again. Like what? And he was like, "That's so funny you say that because I didn't know what I was gonna do, so I just drank a lot of coffee."
Yeah.
And I'm totally not kidding. For years, that's what I did. If I was in doubt, I'd be like, all right, I'll just, I'll drink a bunch of coffee and see what happens. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Reasonable.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ted, man, that's where they ended up is where they needed to end up.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
I mean, he's the best.
There's Ted.
I love Ted.
There he is. Hi, Ted.
Yeah.
Well, I got to ask you this. Are you tired of Tom Petty's music yet? I know you've got music in your lifeblood, but has that song worn on your head yet?
No, and it's always funny when I hear it. I'll be like in a mall by myself in a Target or something, and I'll be like, really? Come on. And I'll look around, and it's kind of cool. It's like a little...
Well, you're a meme also on social media. I'm sure you've seen this, but every time I turn on the car and American Girls by Tom Petty comes on, I'm singing along, and then I remember the scene. Mm-hmm. And I have to change the song.
Mm-hmm. Now I usually listen to the whole thing. It's a pretty good song.
All right.
Great song.
Ziggy, let you go to your music question on this.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated. Discovering this book, and with all the pictures from this, you went through this whole fucking crazy scene and have the pictures to prove it, and you're right there.
Yeah.
I mean, first I just got to say, what is your favorite Cro-Mag song? I'll start with that because that's fascinating to me.
Oh my God, that's so
so
funny to ask me that. I mean, I just thought of Malfunction, but I don't know if that's it. I mean, they're fraught for me. But how hilarious! So you like hardcore?
Oh man, metal. I kind of went into the metal more, the Slayers and the thrashy stuff, but I definitely can talk shit on some punk and some hardcore. For sure.
All right, right on.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. Right on.
I'm directing a doc series based on the book, and someone else came to me to do it, so it's like happening, and it's going to be really cool. And it's all about the women specifically. There was a group of us called the Schism Sisters, and so I'm going to go back and sort of show them then and show them now, and kind of see where everyone ended up.
Kind of like the decline of Western civilization type stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Love
it's
it.
always cool to see, but I was thinking, how about moving forward though? If everybody, like, babies come out like camera ready now, they're like always aware because everybody has social media. I was wondering how that's going to affect documentaries moving forward.
Well, the book that Ziggy is talking about is a book of photographs called Sunday Matinee. You can get at sundaymatineebook.com. I believe that's
and I'll bring
a link here. Hang on, let me try to copy this thing over.
Yeah, drop that in the comments if you will. Yeah. Why did you wait almost 40 years to compile all these photos into a book memorializing that snapshot in time?
I'm slow. I don't know what to say.
You're just slow?
I didn't think anyone cared, honestly, for a long time.
No, people care.
Oh my God.
I really didn't think. And my friend was moving and he saw them and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He was going through them. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, "Okay." And so then I had a show in New York. And then it took me 10 more years to put the book together because I have a lot of photos. I think I have to do another maybe.
Oh, man.
But then I have a lot of photos that are going to blow your mind, Chris.
I'm super jazzed, and you're bringing some to the house, right? You're going to bring some for awesome. So for all the guest attendees, we have had quite a few of ticket purchasers mention it. They're already familiar with Sunday Matinee and speaking highly about it.
There's like a crossover, like you said, right?
It's definitely a huge crossover between anyone who loves horror, punk, heavy metal. Certainly is a bit of an incestuous love affair with all three genres, and does cross over quite a bit. So definitely, it's fans know about it, and we look forward to having them at the house for sure.
Right. Yeah. Is there any way we can get out of Pasadena, man?
No.
Oh God.
No. Yeah.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm in Detroit. Near Detroit.
Oh, is Detroit cool? I kind of imagine it as cool.
Like any place, anywhere you go, there are great places to go in Detroit, but there are places you stay the fuck away from.
Okay.
And it's like that, But downtown Detroit's beautiful, where the stadiums are and all the sports teams. There's restaurants. It'll hang with anybody in any town, man.
All the places you didn't take us when we were there. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Nice. Where are you?
Took us.
Red Frank.
I'm in Oklahoma.
Oh, now my friend just told me, and I was like, come on. She said she drove across the country in her RV, and she drove through Oklahoma City. She's like, I'm telling you, it is happening. And I was like, Oklahoma City?
There's stuff. I'm just about a 45 minutes north of Oklahoma City, so there's nothing happening here.
No, but seriously, is she just crazy? She might be crazy.
There's a pretty good little there's a good little arts community that's building up in Oklahoma City. It has been over the last 10 years or so, and it's been kind of more underground for a while, but it's starting to make some noise now, and people are getting on board. More money is coming into it to help it flourish. So.
Because you guys gotta have stuff going on in your cities. If the New York and LA of it all is like dead,
right? Well, Colonel is in basically Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
And what's going on there?
Cincinnati is actually flourishing for the past 10 or 15 years with the local art scene and music and everything. The quote, Emilio Estevez, one of the best person to quote, but he lives here and he calls it the Paris of the Midwest. I wouldn't go that far, but architecturally and art wise, it's coming along pretty well.
And I see pictures from shows in Richmond. Oh no, that's not the same. Richmond. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to think of where I see Cincinnati. Where is it in order? I don't know. I've lost my mind. I see pictures in like Pittsburgh. It looks like there's a cool punk scene in Pittsburgh, and yeah, I don't know. I thought it was in Cincinnati.
Brooke, what's your personal favorite venue from that's my question from your New York Bowery days?
Well, CB's.
Oh, I figured as much, but I was curious if there were any deeper cuts,
No, I mean, we were just talking about Save the Robots. Like I was doing a timeline for the doc series, and so I have a text thread with all the punk girls, and I was like, so wait a minute, what year was, nobody remembers anything. Sometimes, one person does, and then that makes everybody else remember. But I was telling my friend Alexa the other day, I was like, remember that time when Warren Beatty tried to pick you up and you were a skinhead girl? And she was like, no.
Wow.
And then everybody else was like, seriously, you don't remember that? And I said, there's a friggin' clipping. And it took me all day, but in one of those many boxes, I found something of Dustin Hoffman like teasing him about when he was trying to pick up this skinhead girl.
Oh wow!
Anyway, yeah, I guess being a hoarder is not bad, guys. So
that's true.
At CBGB's early '90s, I went to New York for New Year's Eve, and my brother was with me. He's a nut and a much bigger hardcore fan than I am, But we were going to CBGB's. Nuclear Assault was playing there, and oh man, and that to me that was my shit back then. That was my guys, underground, everything. So I was like, yes, we got the guy that was kind of hosting us was going, no, you don't want to go down there, man. No. That wasn't his scene at all. He was the suit and tie guy, so we didn't get to go, and it's one of my greatest regrets.
So you never went?
No, I didn't get to
go.
Doesn't that suck?
Yes, it does. Because I hear all these cool things and pictures I see, and man. So no, I've been out front of it, but that's it. Yeah.
Oh well.
Wow.
Next time.
Yeah.
Gone now? Yeah.
Whatever that means. Wait, okay, so Cincinnati. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And did you guys go to barbecues or whatever for today?
I actually worked.
I just got back from upstate New York. Literally wrapped a horror feature at about 6:00 this morning. 3 weeks of overnights in the Catskills region. So yeah, it was intense. Overnights throw your whole life schedule off. You're sleeping at weird times, body doesn't adjust. But it's an awesome movie. It's called The Pitchfork Retreat. Should be out next year. Tony Todd is in it, and Danielle Harris and Terry Kaiser. Pretty rad. Yep. So I was up there.
We've interviewed all three of them.
I was a production designer on that. We had a lot of cool sequences. I won't give away too much, but it is an anthology film, so of the Creep Show ilk. A couple short stories wrapped around another story. But yeah, a little tired today. It was a transit day and didn't really sleep too much, but got to keep the gears turning. So
what a trooper! And he still shows up for this.
Yes.
Yep.
Got to make it happen.
And I've been just doing extensive prep for today. Watching, of course, Silence of the Lambs. I watched your episode of American Horror Story from season 2. You had the bookend scenes on that episode.
Yeah, I said, because I thought, all right, he's hiring me because I'm the girl in the pit, and it's about skinning me. And I said, I'll only do it if you don't skin me. Because I thought it was kind of, I don't know. I couldn't figure out if it was like homage-y or kind of campy, or I don't know. So I don't know.
Could have taken it as like the fate of it, like it finally caught up with you, that narrow escape from all those years ago. Maybe that's where they're going, but
Yeah.
It's fine.
Are you American Horror Story fans?
I watched the first 4 seasons, and then just life got too busy to follow. I don't really watch much these days, just mostly due to time, not lack of desire. But I did get through the first 4, and I enjoyed them. I did enjoy them quite a bit.
Kim Kardashian, I know you.
Are you
That's
an American Horror Story fan?
No, I'm not.
No.
It's peaks and
No.
valleys with that one. I mean, they've had some really good ones. The one about the apocalypse was really good, I thought. I love the slasher one that went back to '84. I thought that was pretty good.
I remember Hotel, the
Yeah.
1920s Art
Oh,
Deco hotel
Yeah.
one. I think that was the last one I saw. It's been
I
a
think that was
minute.
season 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That tracks.
So, what are your favorite horror movies? Go right now.
Oh wow!
You only have
Shining.
one.
Just have one? Oh
The
shit!
Shining.
Halloween, because
Halloween.
I have a Halloween tattoo, so I am a big Halloween fan.
He does.
Dawn of the Dead, the original.
Okay.
Colonel took mine too, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw a curveball and say The Fog.
Oh. Oh, I want to see The Fog again.
Yes,
Yes.
I
you
have
should.
to text that to myself so I remember. Hold on.
We're when we're out in Pasadena later this month, we're going to the lighthouse, right, or the church?
Yes, the church.
Oh, that's
both.
cool.
Yeah, we're going
That's
to the
cool.
church.
Pasadena?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Near there.
in
Near.
northern. It's in Northern California, but we're gonna take the road trip, I think.
Oh, I
That's
see.
cool.
We got an in. So.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, you
Uh,
guys. I have to
yes.
pop off of here, but
All right.
I wish you guys would come.
I wish we could make it this time
Yes.
around, but we'll have to catch you hopefully on the con circuit some other time.
It
Yes.
overlaps with Pasadena.
I could
Yeah,
talk.
just come
I
up
could
and
talk
see
with
what
you. I could talk with you about Bates Motel, Law and Order. I just finished watching Bombshell.
Yes.
And,
Oh yeah. It's
oh,
not
fuck.
bad, right? It's pretty good.
I forgot how much I love that movie.
If
And,
you're on
Last
the
question, Brooke. Are you excited to get back in the well, or our variant of the well when
I
you
mean, I'm
visit
a
us?
little weirded. I'm not really thinking about it. I said that to somebody recently. They were like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, "I'm just going to kind of show up and see what happens." And they were like, "That's Brooke in a nutshell, right there."
Right.
it's not as deep this time
I'm
though.
sure
I
it's
feel
I like that.
No,
I
not
like
not as deep. I
Yeah,
promise that.
Yeah, it was deep, and that fake, that hard stuff that ripped my toenail off on the slide on the ground. What is that stuff that they make the side of the walls with? Chris would know.
I mean, there's a number of ways to do it. Ours is real cement and stuff, so it won't hurt. But it's only 4 feet deep, so it's easy to get in and out of. It could be a composite. There's all types of stuff.
I have a question. Last question. So
Yeah.
the Airbnb people who come for the weekend and maybe they want to do weird shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Are there hidden cameras on one?
There are no hidden cameras inside Buffalo Bill's house. The property does have cameras on the exterior, just for home security reasons and keeping the grounds and our guests safe.
Yes.
That are monitored, but there are absolutely no cameras inside. So we've appreciated that. I think our fans have appreciated it too. We're not doing any looking. There's no vacancy type stuff going on between the peepholes or anything like that.
Just want to make
Yep, none of that.
Visit to the tuck room. You're okay with that. You don't have to go in there.
Yeah, exactly.
We get a lot of fans who come and certainly get their tuck on our Instagram and Facebook.
Dude.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Our Get
But
Your
you're-
Tuck On sticker. And
You're missing the
we'll
gold.
have when Brooke shows up, we'll have our lotion on display for
Yes.
the photo op, of course.
The lip balm is very nice.
Thank you very much, and of course you'll be reunited, Brooke. You'll be happy to know with little Precious.
Yeah, I have one
sure.
right here. Look.
Yep.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you have a real
Oh.
Precious. Look at that. What's their name?
This one's Roxy.
Roxy.
Yeah.
Very good. We look forward to it. No, thank you so much, Brooke.
If you're out on the con circuit, we are certainly going to cross paths, and we look forward
Right.
to it.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Same here. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
For
Thank
sure.
you, Brooke. Have a
See you
great
in a
night.
few weeks, Brooke. Take care. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, gang. There we go.
Brooke Smith. Wow.
Brooke Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Let me
Moving up in the
switch.
world. All right.
There we go.
here's-
There it
got
goes.
Chris now.
All
Now
right.
you see. All right. Now,
Yo.
we can, now we can. Now we can.
Chris, you're missing a golden opportunity for like a Buffalo Bills house OnlyFans, like 24-hour live stream of the
Tucking.
tuck room.
dude.
Yeah. I want to find. I'm trying to source the actual VHS camcorder that he uses. I have the model number. I want to further flesh out the concept a little bit. I'm keeping an eye out for it, but yeah, there's always room to expand for sure.
Nice.
We're gonna get
Yeah.
over there eventually. We got all these bits prepared just to come and stay for the couple of days.
I remember we chatted about it at what was that show? Living Dead.
Living Dead Weekend.
I think it was Living Dead Weekend last year-ish.
Yeah,
last year.
22. 22.
Yep.
Yeah, 22. That's it. Yep. No,
So-
it's cool.
So honestly, Chris, what was that conversation like with Brooke when you said, "Hey, I want you to come back and do something with the Buffalo Bills house"? What was there hesitancy at all with her, or was she immediately on board?
Brooke was an absolute sweetheart. Like I mentioned earlier, our initial meeting was in Monster Mania. And kind of ran the idea by her. We stayed in touch. I saw her again a few months later, and we kind of wrapped things up. But she was great from the get-go. I just said, this is what I'm up to, and I have this idea, and it would be first of all an absolute honor to have you. I know fans and enthusiasts of the genre would love it. I think what makes our event, Brooke Smith Returns to Buffalo Bills House, that's what we're calling the event. What makes it different than a standard con is that it's super, super intimate, right? I mean, you're getting up close and personal. You're doing it's a combination special event. So you're getting a full guided tour of the property. You'll get to meet Brooke. She's doing autographs, 8x10. She's bringing her book, Sunday matinee, of course, and memorabilia, things of that nature. But then, hell yeah. And but the real idea that was tipping me off in the head is like, I want Brooke to get in the well and take photos with everybody. Certainly themed photos are wildly popular, at the cons, and they're awesome, right? But they're all green screen, right? And that's that's the way of the world nowadays. But how about being part of the most exclusive group to not only get the photo but get it in the actual filming location? I have not seen that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a whole lot of that going on.
Not many.
No, interacting on the actual set like that? None. There's none like that.
I mean, I'm trying to set the bar really high. I have a lot of ideas I'm trying to put into play. Like I said earlier, it did take it took 2 years before I felt really comfortable to get to a point where I was ready to, go the special event route. I wanted, I'm still figuring out my format. I mean, it was new to me. I mean, yes, I'm a art director and a prop stylist, and yes, I do work in the business, and I know how to make things work and look good. But what brand of lotion is stocked for the guests? Well, of course,
it's
Skin Suit.
I got it.
Oh shit! Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There we go.
Oh, there you go. Skin Suit Soft. There you go. That's it, baby. They are available at BuffaloBillsHouse.com, and we'll certainly have them for purchase at the tours. But going the special event route was something that was really special to me because I did want to bring in the community, around the film, and I get a lot of great feedback when I do the tours. We only do the tours from May through October. Basically, it's one weekend a month, May through October. After Brooke's event, we have one more set of tours left for the season. It's Halloween weekend, the weekend right before Halloween. Those tickets are also available at BuffaloBillsHouse.com. But rolling out the special event thing was super important to me because I always envisioned it something like Bill's house, more than just the Silence of the Lambs filming location, but a place where fans and like-minded genre enthusiasts, right, could actually get together and then have these experiences. So there's no one better than Brooke to kind of set that off and start it off as our first big one.
She seems great.
She's a really wonderful person. Really embraced the idea and was super cool about it, and I'm certainly very appreciative that she's willing to come. We're gonna have some fun, September 22nd through 24th. Still have some tickets available. BuffaloBillsHouse.com. A couple of time slots are already sold out, but if you want them, best to get them soon. Get in the well with Brooke. So
that's right.
Have you?
Hey, hold on, I gotta throw this up here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Bridget says Ziggy and Brooke had a little chemistry going. Did anyone else notice that? I'm pretty fucking sure she's married, Ziggy. Yeah, so lay off.
I'm a professional. I was having an interview here. I'm trying to ask the questions people want to hear. Knock it off. If I get through the defense, and get some stuff out of it. That's what that is. I'm not trying to get down in her pants or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I know. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Have you heard anything? Has there been any kind of contact from Jody, Ted, Anthony about?
There has not yet.
Yes.
And I always say never say never. I certainly have some more plans in the future. I have not truthfully spoken to any of them or their representatives. Let it simmer. I really did envision Brooke being the first. That was really my plan. I did want to get on her radar. Super appreciative. She was, open to the concept and the idea, and willing to come back for the first time since she filmed, over 30 years ago at this point. The offer is certainly on the table. If Ted, Jody, or Anthony get a hold of this information, I would love to have you guys. And
I'm sure they're all watching, so.
I'm sure they are.
They're probably all together
who
drinking
would
some
miss,
Chianti and.
Yeah, who would miss Death Curse Society on a Monday night? A couple of fava beans, and you're all set. Outside of silence special events, I will say that I won't keep it exclusively to silence. I kind of envision Buffalo Bill's house as a mecca and a welcoming, home base, if you will, for more special events of other franchises and other, horror community events, whatever that means in the future, we'll find out, but certainly open to having other, talent, celebrity-driven engagements with the fans up close and personal in the future. I'm certainly not limiting it to exclusively Silence of the Lambs, but maybe you could take in another amazing, franchise movie and tour and meet talent from another franchise there in the future. So that's kind of on the, long-term game plan. So.
Chris, when you purchased the house, this was in 2020 when you bought it, right?
Yes, late 2020, yes.
Okay. What kind of shape was it in then? Had it been modified much from the state it was from the 1990 shoot?
Well, the home
how did you remodel it to match what the scenes were on the film?
The home was built in 1910. It is a Victorian home, if you were to break down its architectural style. It's very large for the community it resides in. It's also a riverfront property, which makes it have absolutely gorgeous views right outside the front gate, where Jody knocks on the door, and Bill delivers, the great big fat person line.
Oh, wait.
You're a great big fat person. Right outside on the opposite view, when you see Jody pull up in her FBI car, undercover car, the river's right across the street, so you have really beautiful views. In terms of remodeling, happy to report that the home was really, really well kept. A home of that age, it was 110 years old at the time. It's now 113. Wow. Though it's all original woodwork. It was in really, really great shape. You could see that a lot of love and care went into the home over its course of ownership. There were things I wanted to do. I put some fresh carpets down upstairs in the bedrooms, did some electrical renovation and stuff, just basic, homeowner type stuff. But some of the other fun things I wanted to do is like the attic, which kind of we affectionately call Buffalo Bill's Playhouse, is kind of this retro nostalgic experience. That third floor was completely unused space for over a century. It was essentially storage, and it's a whole extra floor on top of the bedrooms on the second floor. The interesting thing to note about that was there was no power up there when I purchased the home. It literally was storage for a century, and I couldn't let that slide. So, I did have to, get it, bring an electrician, do all that jazz. But put in about a dozen arcade games, nostalgic arcade games from the 80s and 90s, put up a pool table up there. Ask me how fun that was to bring up 3 flights of stairs. I know because I did it with a couple guys. And then my personal DVD and VHS collection, about 800 or so movies that I took from my personal home and kind of made it its own little blockbuster. So it's a great place to watch Silence or any other movie. But
Eric actually says the upstairs movie theater and game room is really impressive.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric came last year. He actually did an overnight. We had a paranormal investigation at Buffalo Bill's house last year at Halloween time. That's when I met Eric, and saw him last weekend. Like I said earlier, he's coming to meet Brooke in a few weeks, September 22nd through 24th.
Nice.
But the game room's really fun. A lot of our guests cite that. One of the most things I'm appreciative of is when people point out the attention to detail in the house. That's a really, great feeling for me. Because little nuanced touches here and there, like people say, every time I went into the room, I noticed something new about it that I didn't pick up the first time, and that's really rad. I love hearing that people not only are having a positive experience, but they're walking away with something that means something to them. That's really cool, just from one movie fan to another.
Right. Colonel, jump in here with a question for Chris.
No, well, you kind of stole my question for Chris, but I can kind of go back. So originally, how did you find out the house was for sale?
It was just I can't tell you what website it was, but it was just on my feed one day, of one of the multi-dozen, horror movie news websites that I come up in your feed on a day-to-day basis, and was kind of sitting there, read it, and it took all of about 2.5 hours before the idea hit. I admit it didn't happen in while reading it, but as someone who loves locations, just personally, I'm not someone who is going to go and make a whole thing out of it, but I just enjoy going to it. And the idea behind it, I mean, Silence is such an iconic movie. Classified as one of one of the only horror films to ever win Academy Awards, let alone sweep the Oscars.
Right.
Won the big 5 awards in '92. Right, it was the year it came. The year after it came out, 91.
91, yeah.
It was a 91 movie, right? The awards were in 92. I read it, and as someone who it's kind of like Bill's House was really kind of the perfect mashup. My background, making things look good on film sets and commercial productions. And then my personal interest in horror, Bill's was kind of the perfect opportunity to kind of blend those two passions and start my own business. It's something I've been thinking about doing for a while. Start my own business, not necessarily open up a movie themed Airbnb, but it seemed like the right time and place to do it. So that's what I did.
How painstakingly did you walk around obsessively trying to match paint and different knickknacks around the house? What was this challenge like?
So in that regard, I say Bill's is a hybrid because there are things I specifically wanted to represent, but there's also my own touches and stuff like that. Like, there's no way I would never say this house is 100% screen accurate. It's not ultimately the goal and what I was trying to achieve. It was kind of that hybrid concept to keep the home comfortable and welcoming in a traditional sense, with just things like furniture and color choices and palette and things like that, right? Just traditional design elements, but then bring in this darker sensibility from Silence, right? Like we have some real Death Set moths on display. We have a Hannibal animatronic that comes to life and scares the crap out of our guests. But that's about as fun as it gets. A lot of it is artwork driven. When we were just trying to get a buzz going about the house, we purchased a couple Silence themed prints that we liked, did some unboxing videos, right? Just get the buzz going, hopefully. And then artists started to reach out to us. It was completely unplanned and say, hey, I have this or I do that. Would you be interested? So ultimately, Buffalo Bill's house kind of became an art gallery of sorts for all things Silence of the Lambs, which is great because I certainly appreciate fine art, and we just kind of cherry pick the best ones, and they're on permanent display. We do have some original props in the house from the film. We were talking about with Brooke earlier. 2 authentic pieces of wallpaper that were up in both the foyer, the grand foyer in the front when Bill invites Clarice in, and also the kitchen as well. Call sheets, 2 production blueprints, a location agreement from the homeowner originally. So some really cool stuff, for sure.
Nice. The workshop, I watched some videos today. Bill's workshop in the basement is great. With some of your details in there, the sewing machine, the mannequins, and the outfits that they are wearing. Those are wonderful, man.
Just
thank you.
Please tell me you left out the swastika quilt.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
no, that's
Yeah,
good.
we're definitely not going all not going all that way for authenticity. No,
It's funny,
no.
I didn't notice that till this reviewing. Like, the posters on the wall, yes. But I was just like, wait, did I really just see what I thought I saw in his bed? And later in the movie, I'm like, sure as shit, there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, like with Bill's basement and how that came about, right? I mean, what does everyone remember? Like, I always remember the disco ball, right? Of course, you know, it's spinning, you know, it's spotlighting around. We do have motion sensor down there, so I have "Goodbye Horses," of course, the song Bill dances to by Q Lazarus. It's hooked up to motion activated speakers, so essentially our guests who might not expect it or whatever, once you start walking down the stairway, which is where Clarice, has the gun drawn and she's peeking through the stairwell opening, and that's all screen accurate. It's all authentic. Once it picks up your movement, it draws you. The song plays. It trips the motion sensor. The song comes on, and it draws you right to the workshop. Tells you to flip these light switches, and then boom, you are in a live functioning movie set. Feeling a part of it. And that's why I think like Bill's house was like always something I wanted it to be. Hell yeah, that's when you get your tuck on, son. It's zigzag. Like I use the word like interactive experience, or an interactive Airbnb, because I feel like there's a lot of cool places you can go and see, and even to this day. But I think in my eyes, what I tried to do was set Bill's apart by creating this interactivity to it in a private format, and allows our guests in their own timeline to, if they want to come in and relax, they can relax. If they want to, go into the basement and recreate scenes, they can. Or go in the well. We have the business card drawer in the curio where Bill, drops it. It's kind of.
I saw your recreation of that today too. That was great.
Yeah, it's my poor man's Ted Levine. I'm certainly no Ted, but I think he did it a little better than I did. But it's a lot of fun, and like we do that during the tour, and people love that interactivity. They get to essentially be the characters that they enjoyed watching, whether it's Clarice or Bill, or, it's interesting to see that portion of it unfold, where people really truly appreciate not only seeing the place where it was filmed, but then recreating it for themselves, and I think it goes a long way with people.
Right. Now, the well is relatively new. You added that late last year, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
And Tom Savini's special effects team was part of who designed that, correct?
That is correct. So basically, Tom runs a school in Pittsburgh, the Douglas Education Center. It's about 20-ish minutes or so from Bill's. It's not terribly far, a few towns over. And, you want to learn how to make movie monsters and sculpt and all that professionally, you can, take his program and learn it. So it's actually a combination of both faculty and students at the school who devised it. It's a whole team of individuals, very talented people, guys and girls. They, over the course of a few months, executed a plan to, essentially excavate, dig a small hole, create it, and then, with the idea being, well, one, we want it to be screen accurate, so of course we, screen grabs from the movie were utilized. Yep, they're there. The fingernails are all there.
It looks
and
so good. It
the
looks
bucket
so
raises
good.
and lowers, and we did the motion sensor thing too in there. I loaded up all the clips from the movie, the audio clips of Brooke and Ted, in their scene. So you walk into the well, and the scene is literally playing out audibly as you experience it and take your own photos and stuff. But very appreciative to have Tom's team and his blessing. He came over to shoot some video with us, which if you would have told me 30 something years ago, watching his movies in the 80s, that he would support and be a part of this amazing project that rattled around in my head, I probably would have said you're freaking insane.
Exactly.
But also really like super jazzed that like the horror community has really kind of rallied behind Bill's from the celebrity aspect. Like Doug Bradley's been to the house,
Doug Bradley's
of course,
been
Pinhead.
there.
Daniel Roebuck was recently there.
Dan
I remember
Roebuck just
correctly.
2 months ago. Danny was just here, great guy. Him and his lovely wife Tammy, they came and we did an interview.
He
at the
told
house
us
and stuff.
about it when we
New
were in
Mexico.
Albuquerque.
We were in Albuquerque the week before. He's like, "That's where I'm going next." No,
Yeah.
he's
Yep.
telling us all about it. We were like, "Yeah, Chris is the man." So
Oh no, he's a sweetheart. They're both such amazing people. It's endearing to me, all these people that I've watched, just a fan like everybody else. At the end of the day, but come out and lend support to it and appreciate it. We had Kane Hodder visit a few months ago for a photo shoot. That was really rad. For Rue Morgue, that was awesome.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
First Jason just stayed a couple months ago. Ari, awesome guy. It's been real cool, and we have our first music video was shot at the house relatively recently. The band Taproot, who just recently reformed.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah, they're Michigan guys. They had their very first show back in Pittsburgh in many years, and they reached out to me directly and said, "Hey, we'd like to do this after our show." So we talked it over. They did a video, and I believe in the next 2 months it will be coming out. So stay tuned for that. Taproot's new music video at Buffalo Bill's house. Those guys are all sweethearts. Really appreciate their support. It's awesome to see people rally behind it, and it's just awesome.
Who's like
we've
the
been
biggest star
a
ever
fan
to come?
since we met you, man. So
Yeah, who's the
sorry,
biggest
Ziggy.
non-horror or any star at all that's come? Who's the biggest one to come through there to stay or just take a tour? Or
The biggest star to come
'cause
through?
I've seen a bunch of people have come through there.
All the names mentioned are pretty top tier in our genre, for sure. Who else has come? We have obviously said we had Kane, Danny, Doug, Tom has been there. Who else?
Is Corey Taylor through there?
Corey Taylor has not visited. I was across from him at a con late last year. My table was directly across. He did just come up randomly and like, "Hey, what is all this about?" And, we chatted for a few minutes. I,
Right.
gave him a T-shirt. "Hey, man, come on through anytime you're ready." So, but he has not been there. It would be an honor to have him. I think as long as people, know that it's run by someone who is passionate about it and, is doing it, to preserve an iconic piece of, film location history, which is, I always tell people, I was like, I will keep doing it as long as people keep coming. The day people stop coming will be the day that I can't, so if it continues to resonate and it means something to other people as much as it meant to me, then I appreciate all that support.
Dude,
I think that'll only just keep growing and growing as years go on, because
you're just getting started, man.
That movie is timeless, man. That movie is fucking timeless, and it's one of the few damn near flawless movies out there.
Well, that ending, dude. God damn it. When those lights go out, my hair still stands up on my neck when that shit's going on.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. I'd be like, oh my God, what a disadvantage, and then
it's great. It's iconic. I mean, it's iconic at the end of the day, and that's why I'm just uber pumped to have Brooke visit us. It's just going to be so spectacular. Fans seem to be really appreciative of it. I know MovieWeb did an article about it, and Joe Blow and Bloody Disgusting recently did a piece. So it's all support based, right? I mean, in my eyes. Obviously you guys know the horror community is super tight, and to have, fans and publications support the concept and, what we're trying to do out here. Like, Bill's is only, so you're mentioning Dawn of the Dead earlier. It's 30 minutes to the Monroeville Mall. You guys know that. You've been to Living Dead weekend before, and it's less than an hour from the Evans City Cemetery where they filmed Night of the Living Dead and a million other locations. There's literally a dozen silence locations in the area. There's so much cool stuff in Western PA, for genre enthusiasts,
Well, one of the things you do for the house is you offer guided tours occasionally. Were you already an expert on Silence of the Lambs, or did you have to study up on some trivia to prepare to lead these tours?
That's a great question. I would say I had a solid amount of knowledge. I wouldn't say it was expert level, but I definitely learned a lot. I think I mentioned it earlier, like with the actual homeowner who was there during filmmaking, 32 years ago, hearing some really interesting personal stories from her. Of her account and what she witnessed. And I absolutely worked some of that into the tour. I mean, because this was not consumable or public knowledge that was, available to anybody else. I mean, it's literally this family's experience, and it's really amazing. One of our exclusives to the tour format is she actually had VHS camcorder footage of production being shot. This is not on any, special edition DVD. It's not on YouTube. I actually have, she has the original and I have a copy, and it's a tour exclusive. I actually play some of it during guided tours. You actually get to see what it was like. It's literally got the timestamp and date stamp on it, grainy as hell VHS footage of just her family's account of, the movie being shot. So she was really amazing in helping, flesh out the concept of the tours.
Nice. How long did the previous family have it before you purchased it?
The family that was there for Silence was there for in excess of 40 years. I believe, if I remember correctly, they were there from like 1969 or 1973, somewhere in the, quite some time. They had a young son and raised their son at the house. They did reside there during filming too, so they were able to document some of it just for fun, for their own personal memory.
We had this experience like at another location. I got to go in and the homeowner was telling these stories. I was like, stop, you got to come on the show and tell. No one has heard this shit,
Right.
And I have some footage of the inside of the place and everything, but then they totally ghosted us. They did not want to be part of it. They just decided. So it just breaks my fucking heart, man. 'Cause the stories this person had were so good.
I mean, it's special stuff. So it's amazing. And when I get to share that with people, you could see it, when you're telling them a personal account, it's not something that's on you're not regurgitating whatever public knowledge based, silence trivia that everybody knows, or even maybe it's mildly deep cut. I mean, these are personal accounts of it, and then it's backed up by things like the location agreement for the house itself, and or blueprint schematics of what what the production designer envisioned the home to look like just in concept prior to it even being shot. So you kind of tie it all in and present that to people, and it's pretty amazing. They seem to really enjoy it. It's awesome.
For me, that would sell me right there. Just hearing some good dirt like that. That's not out there on any of the releases. Yes, that's. I mean, so doing the tours, doing overnight stays, and then rolling out now special events. It's all something. I want Buffalo Bill's house to be this kind of mecca for the genre, right? I mean, I'm hoping that it continues to resonate with people. A big step is having Brooke come in a couple weeks. It's amazing to see the support the community puts around it. There's so few of these left, and there's so few of that are not only open to the public, but encouraged for you to come and visit, right? We were talking about the Goonies house earlier, right? I mean, it's not a horror movie, but so whoever owned the Goonies house, however long they owned it till recently, they were calling cops on people who were just taking photos and stuff. I mean, it's unfortunate. There's a zillion houses out in the country that you could live in. Why would you move into a famous movie house if you didn't
have some kind of affection for it?
Some kind of affection for it. I mean, if you love the community, maybe there's one available 2 blocks away. I mean, it just seems so silly to me. And then to the point of despising that people are coming to your house because it means something to them, right?
Yeah.
I've heard the Amityville Horror House, they put up a fence around it.
Yeah.
It's what the hell?
I haven't been there in years. I mean, I was there early 2000s. It's been a while, so I don't know what it looks like. I mean, I know the windows got changed. I haven't seen it in some time. I don't know if I totally believe you, but yeah, it was probably early 2000s last I saw that. But yeah, they don't. I mean, it's in a shishi, Long Island, New York, suburb. So I guess Amityville horror isn't exactly the vibe that they're going for, despite the fact that we love it and a lot of people do too.
Yeah,
but
I
you
mean,
know
I
that.
agree with you though. I mean, these people bought the house knowing, like you knew it was in the film,
Yeah,
and it's a famous house. Like,
Agreed.
If you do buy the house and then you find out later, okay.
Yeah,
but
if they kept
still,
it from you, okay, I'll give you a pass. But fuck you, everybody fucking knows what it is.
everybody knows that house.
It said Silence of the Lambs house, Buffalo Bill's house. When you looked at it, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, it said it. I mean, it's a Silence of the Lambs film location, home for sale. Clicked in the article, read it, and it was like, it's like you would just think that, like, what kind of person would buy a famous house they wanted nothing to do with? I don't know, but apparently people do it. I mean, it's not me, but and certainly not any of you guys, but I'm sure you'd be all jazzed to live in the or own the
Fuck
Amityville
yeah.
house, as would I.
You kidding me?
Oh yeah,
I just
Right.
heard the Friday the 13th diner is for sale.
it's up for
last
sale.
week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a couple people message me. They're like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Let me borrow. Let me get some cash. Do a little Indiegogo, and I'll add restaurateur to the credentials."
shit.
Uh,
I would trust you with the handling of the diner. I would be
Yeah.
okay with you taking it.
Appreciate it. I would love to. Don't think it's in the immediate cards. Focusing on bills for a little bit longer before I jump into another one maybe down the road. But I'd be honored. I hope whoever does get that the diner is a fan and someone who wants to want it to thrive based on the Friday the 13th.
Since we're talking about this a little bit, what would be like another dream location for you? Like if you could get any filming location and turn it into either an Airbnb or the diner or something like that.
Wow, that's a really great question. I mean, I am a massive Halloween fan. I mean, I don't know. I would have to, off the top of my head, owning the Myers house or the Nightmare, the original Nightmare house, Nancy's house, which in LA in Southern California. Those communities, pretty pricey communities to reside in, from what I'm told, and I'm pretty sure in the last year the Nightmare house sold for a couple $1 million due to its location. That's a little out of my range, but if I had it, I would say definitely the Myers house or Freddy's house for sure.
That's one of the places we're going when we're out in Pasadena here.
While we're not at your
couple
place.
Weeks. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's you guys are doing the Halloween 45.
Halloween 45. Yep.
I want to go so bad, but it's also spooky season. I got to be all over the place to, the time to take fun trips. Unfortunately for me, this is like my crunch time for work and stuff. So I will not be there, but I know you guys are going to have a blast. That looks like an amazing, unbelievable, con event.
Yeah.
I know Sean Clark, who's, covered the house with Horror's Hallowed Grounds, great guy. I know he's, putting it on and doing the bus tours, and that's just going to be spectacular. I keep reading they're practically all sold out, or maybe they are all sold out.
They've been sold out for even before.
I read like a week ago he added maybe one or two more, but
he added another bus. I think they've got like 6 now.
Wait a minute. Oh, what? It was yesterday. One more went on sale yesterday, but dude,
Okay.
it was like it's a bitch to get on one of these fucking buses,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, he's the Halloween guru, man. I mean, like, guy knows everything, and rightfully so. He did a video at Bill's house, 2 years ago, right around opening. And he saw the well. He was one of the only guys I let see the well during, the intermittent build phase. So I was like, can't release it, but I'll let you see it, so got to get Sean back in so he could see the finished product.
Nice.
We opened that up in October, and I think he saw it a couple months prior. I can't remember when it was exactly, but it was in the build phase at that point.
I got a trivia question for you. Not necessarily Silence based, but Hannibal Lecter based. What actor is in the most Hannibal Lecter films?
The most Hannibal Lecter films. Wow. Hannibal Lecter films. I can't even remember who's in Hannibal Rising, so that takes that out of the equation. I can't even make a face, so I saw it once or twice, but I can't. The most. It's either blatantly obvious or it's a super deep cut. It's pretty good.
It's not obvious. It's not that.
It's not obvious, yeah.
Most people, yep. See, most people would jump on that immediately. Cocktail Flicks just says Anthony Hopkins.
Right. I mean, it's someone more than Anthony Hopkins, obviously. So
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins is incorrect. Cocktail Flicks.
Yeah, I figured it was. So all right, give it up, Red Crank.
Give it up.
Colonel, do you know?
No.
Oh, no?
I was to say Ray Liotta. Fuck it.
All right. Frankie Faison, who plays Barney in Silence, Hannibal, and Red Dragon.
Oh,
but
that's right.
He's also Lieutenant Fisk in Manhunter. The 1986 Manhunter.
That's a deep cut, man. Good for you.
There you go.
Hey, I'll pull the Wayne's World card. You know, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. That's a good deep cut trivia question, man.
Yeah,
well done. Well done.
I thought you were going to do the one we ran on the game show. We did who said who was the first actor to play Hannibal Lecter, and everybody Anthony Hopkins, and Brian Cox.
Brian Cox.
Yep.
I did a movie with Brian, a little small indie, long time ago. I think it was 2009, 2010. It's called As Good as Dead. It was him, Andy McDowell was in it. Small movie we shot in New York, but I worked with him for a little bit. A very nice man, super pleasant. Nice to watch him do his thing. Certainly a fringe benefit of working on shoots and stuff.
Right.
Cool guy, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you're pretty heavily involved in some of the independent horror scene, especially up in your area. Mm-hmm. You mentioned a project you're working on that's coming out next year.
Yeah.
Anything else that you can plug that's coming along in the near future?
I just wrapped that literally this morning. We did an overnight, which was cool, and then I drove home. It's called the Pitchfork Retreat. It's awesome. Like I said, it's Tony Todd's in it, Danielle Harris. Definitely keep your eyes out for that next year. I'm sure it'll take some time to edit and all that, but get it out there and distribute it. But happy to be a part of it. Really great project. There's some guys from the Terrifier team on it from the production side, which is great. Nice. The Fuzz on the Lens guys, who are all good guys. Talented group of individuals. I did work on the Joe Bob show on Shudder for a number of years. Did a couple seasons, the 4 or 5, the specials. I can't remember, but a bunch of them. Joe Bob and Darcy are awesome. They're great. Trying to think what else, dude. I mean, that's what's really coming up. That's the last thing I did. I got some commercial work coming up. It's not exciting like horror is, but it pays the bills. Keep it going, whatever it is. But
maybe you can put in a good word with Darcy the Mail Girl then on the what's the podcast shout out they do every week on that show?
She's on the AEW wrestling podcast. I know she's one of the co-hosts.
Well, I mean on Joe Bob.
Yeah, right.
Oh, which podcast do they shout out?
Yeah,
they do a little thing where they shout one out.
Well, granted, I've been working so much overtime, I don't get to watch the second film anymore. But they used to give out the Silver Bolo Award, and some dude shit on it, and they haven't done it since. Which I don't.
Oh, they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I noticed we hadn't done that in a bit. That's right. Think about it.
I was going to say.
I forget off the top of my head, to be totally honest, which one they're plugging. I know she's currently on. I know she co-hosts a big AEW wrestling podcast. She's a huge AEW fan, and I know she's friends with all those guys. So I know she's on that.
I got you.
She's great. Joe Bob's great. They're good people. They're just good people. They care about the community. For sure.
Yeah. Well, you may. I don't know. Let me see. Bill says Bell's Fancy Creations at Instagram would love to make you something. They, man, and if they send you something, be prepared. It's going to be beautiful. They do these horror themed wreaths, and they are killer. literally.
Oh.
So
Ours is put
Rad.
away, I'm assuming, or we'd show you ours. Ours is fucking sick.
mine's out of reach right now, but
Okay.
but
Yeah, I mean,
they just sent
hey,
us one.
I would
and it's
I would love
amazing.
that. I mean, listen, we love displaying art and pieces that are submitted. I mean, every once in a while we do get stuff that just lands in the mailbox, or hey, you have a package,
Right.
and it's an artist or a creative type, someone who has an Etsy shop or something, and there's some amazing stuff out there, and we try to display it all. So it'll certainly have a good home if you'd like to. It's very kind of you to offer. Thanks.
They do great work, man. So wait till you feast your eyes on that if they get something worked up for you. But
I can imagine.
Colonel, you got one more question for Chris before we let him go here pretty soon?
I think we all covered it, but I do have to ask this. I'm sorry I'm stepping away from the Buffalo Bills house.
What?
Where did you get that sweet ass creeper mask right behind you?
The creeper mask?
Yeah.
Wrong finger. I always do that. It's like left is right and right is left. There it is. Years ago. God. It's hard to. Let me get out of the way here. There it is. Next to my Terminator and my Predator who's falling over and a portrait of Ozzy. I got an Ozzy. Where is it? Is it on this side? Yeah. A friend of mine is his photographer. So that's his autograph.
Hang on.
Over there.
Zoom in on there.
Yeah.
There it
is. That's the old Ozzy guy from the '80s.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I remember
that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
So he used it I think he used it after No Rest for the Wicked or something like that. I think it was around that.
Osmosis or whatever the fuck that record was.
Yeah. He used it. He had a run with it. It was that logo was around for a good decade. I truthfully forget where the hell that's from. I mean, that was a while ago. Shit, I've had that mask probably 15 years. After a while, it gets you guys know. Look at your walls. After a while, it gets a little foggy. You just know you have it. But
where did that come from?
I can't put a finger on exactly where the Jeepers Creepers one came from. I do hope that some of the cool stuff that Brooke was saying, she's willing to bring some stuff to the event. So that was a nice offer for.
Yeah, you got to get your hands on some copies of that.
Yeah, definitely going to politely ask if she's willing to allow some photocopies to be made. That would make some great additions to the memorabilia and lore of it. At the house for sure.
She's got something, especially if she's a photographer, and I'm sure she was shooting around there too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No, I mean
somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean it's super cool. Like I love being exposed to these one-offs. I mean, of course, she's the actress, right? But I mean, like when people obtain these grail unique items that in theory disappear for decades and then somehow surface in a closet, a storage unit, fill in the blank, whatever. Like I was saying earlier, who is this guy that just had the hero Buffalo Bill goggles, night vision goggles, sitting in a case somewhere for 30 years, and then puts them online, and boom, $25,000 later, I guess they're on display in somebody's house. But
she's got to get that blueprint too, because that sounds amazing, signed by everybody too.
Yeah, I would love to see it, and if willing, we'll certainly make it a point to put it up for others to enjoy.
I saw the one that you have on your video when I was watching that earlier. That was pretty cool.
It's really fascinating because to see conceptually written on paper before anything is physically there obviously all that process has to take place prior to things being established, certainly before anything actually comes through the door. As someone who works art department and props and set stuff, sometimes what you talk about in pre-pro in pre-production and what ends up getting approved or what ends up actually finding its way onto screen or cut out of frame, which does happen a lot to me. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, we got to have this, we got to have that, and you get it, you find it, you set it all up, and then, when it starts out like this, and then it ends up like this, then there's a little bit, I don't know, there's 3 days of hunting for fill in the blank with, whatever item it was, that had to be there, but didn't make the final cut, as they say.
Right.
But it's cool.
What's next for you besides this event and then spooky season? And then what do you have any other events for the rest of the year? What do you have planned for next year?
Let's see. Obviously, Brooke Smith, September 22nd through 24th. I'll do the final plug. If you're interested in tickets, BuffaloBillsHouse.com. We are doing a meet and greet with Brooke, full guided tour of the house. She's doing photos in the well. There's also VIP options. Fright Rags actually is a sponsor of the event. They gave us some gift cards to give away. Super appreciative of those guys. Humbled by their support. They are a good group of dudes, and they gave us some gift cards to give away to some of the ticket holders. But after Brooke's event, we have one more round of guided tours for 2023. It's Halloween weekend. Those are also available at BuffaloBillsHouse.com. No immediately other special events for the year, but I am definitely on the road the next 2 months at a convention near you for spooky season. Where the hell am I going to be? Geez, that's a great question. I know I'm doing Monster Mania Maryland in October, mid-October. Probably doing Living Dead Weekend, third week of October out in the Pittsburgh area, right near Evans City Cemetery.
That's the Evans City one, right? Yep.
That's the Evans City one, yep. And then I have a couple I'm trying to squeeze into as time permits. I'm trying to make a last-ditch effort to end up in Boston this weekend for Silver Scream. I was a little late getting to it, but we'll see if I can get into that. But 2024... tours will start up in the spring, and I think definitely going to put at least one, maybe two special events together with some more celebrity talent, meet and greet type stuff, and maybe our first film screening at Buffalo Bill's house in the summer months.
Something I was wondering, if you would start doing some of those. That would be cool.
The property is very large and it's very comfortable. There's certainly a lot of grass. It's about a block. So I'm thinking about potentially hey, drive-in style minus the cars. Bring a blanket or a couple lawn chairs, and maybe play another film from another spooky franchise and get some talent attached to it. Do a little Q&A action, and have some fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
That'd be excellent, man.
Great idea.
If nothing else,
thank you, man. Appreciate
you got to catch this guy out at a con and just listen to him carnival barking in front of his booth. You'll fucking die laughing. I mean, it's
a lot of tucking. It's a lot of tucking and rubbing lotion on my nipples. It's mostly that.
I mean, but you see this booth and you're like, all right, what's this about? Then you get up there and start talking to him. You will be entertained. So just come talk to Chris at any of these cons.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it, man.
Chris, we're so happy that we finally got you on the show, and best of luck with, of course, the Brooke Smith event and everything else that you have going on. If there's anything else that we can, talk about or promote down the road, please let us know. And
it's inevitable. We're gonna get there, man, at some point.
I listen. I wore the Death Curse shirt you guys gave me last year. On set while I was working the last 3 weeks in upstate New York. Got quite a few compliments on it. I think I maybe got you guys a couple followers there.
Hey,
people were curious. I said, these guys are the real McCoy, so check them out. It was the Loomis shirt.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
I'm always representing, man. I appreciate it. No, you guys do great stuff. Thank you for having me on. So glad Brooke could join us and chat too. Definitely get your tuck on. Right, Little Precious will come by. Right, you see, this is what it says. You guys will get a kick out of this. This is one of our new items we only put out a couple months ago. It's her neckerchief. It says, "Would you pet me? I'd pet me. I'd pet me so hard." Precious,
genius.
Yes.
Genius.
Hey, you know what I like to say about Buffalo Bill's house? It's the right amount of wrong. Just the right amount of wrong.
That's a T-shirt right fucking there, man. Shit.
There you go.
Absolutely. Well, man, like I said, thanks again for joining us, and hope to see you down the road, and I'm sure we'll see you at a con at some point in the near future. So
keep churning it out, guys. You guys are doing great work, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Thank you for having me on, guys.
All right.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you next time, man. Have a good night.
All right, guys. Keep it metal. See ya.
Yeah.
Woo!
Fuck yeah, man.
Chris Rowan, everybody. Brooke
go.
Smith. Yay.
Wow.
What Dude.
Fuck the Christmas Story house, people. That was Buffalo Bill's house.
You don't need the
That's
Christmas
right.
Story
Fuck
house.
the Christmas Story house.
You go get some skin. You get your tuck on. I mean, that's what it's. And dude, from what I'm hearing, everybody does the goddamn tuck.
Everybody does the tuck.
Everybody does the tuck. So I mean, and it kind of authentically. So I don't know, man. When we get there, we're gonna have to have a discussion.
We're gonna have all three of us in there.
No. We're drawing straws or something, and we got to see what.
No, bullshit. This is a team effort.
Hey,
I've
I'm
already
in.
done the tuck once, man. What the fuck?
He's done the tuck, but we lost the footage. It seems like.
No, I just haven't. I've been.
That's in the wrong location too.
We're still looking for it. We're looking for it. But that's not an official tuck in the official fucking house.
Not yeah.
With official
not
fucking
tuck.
music going. That's what it needs to be.
Dude, tuck you. We're all three going to be lined up there in our little kimonos, and we're going to tuck it away, and it's going to be brilliant. So
we're going to bring it on.
We got to get up there sometime. I don't know when, but we got to get up there sometime. Maybe on the way to or from. Well, I can't say.
I know.
You can't
it's
say
funny
yet
because one of them was mentioned. Even
I know. I know. Okay, hold on. Eric says tucking ain't easy. Okay, Eric? Did you do the tuck when you were there?
Eric
Just curious.
He definitely did the tuck.
You look like the kind of guy that would do a tuck. Is that what you're saying?
He's a tucker. He's a tucker.
Yeah.
Christopher
says sounds like a tuck off for the DCS crew. A tuck off?
Tuck off? Wait a minute.
Oh shit, we got the answer I was hoping for.
And Eric says, hell yes, he did. Rock on, man.
Yeah, we knew it. It's all right, though. I think it's
we don't need proof. Yeah, we don't need proof.
No.
We trust you.
We believe you.
Save the photographs for yourself, but that's fine. We appreciate it. Oh, man. Yeah, that was great, guys. If you are in the area, get up there September 22nd through the 24th. Check out... Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, how many sets do you get to actually...
Grizzly says circle tuck? No. There we go. Yeah, get up there. September 22nd, 24th. Meet Brooke Smith. Meet Chris. Enjoy the house. Enjoy the land and the property it's on. There's all kinds of stuff to go through and experience there. And then, like he said, there's half a dozen or more filming locations nearby.
There's a lot of shit out there. I mean, but fuck, it's an interactive fucking actual movie set. That's fucked up, man. There isn't nothing like that around.
That's awesome. Like I said, you could book the house for 3 fucking days and make it a nice, good weekend, man.
Yeah.
Like I said,
but
in the house,
don't
sightseeing around.
But don't fly your freak flag outside because there are cameras outside. So keep all the freaky stuff inside. Keep all the freaky stuff inside. But
and who knows, man? You could get a good gust of wind and the poor fool going down the river trying to fish gets full fucking ass. Blows your kimono over looking at the security camera. Ain't nobody want to see that from the front or the back. So,
Miggs, that's rude, Miggs. Keep it to yourself.
I'm glad we can't share photos in here because people would be dropping their tucks, man.
Yeah, I don't. Jeez, I hope
you
our
don't need
social media. I hope our social media doesn't get just flooded with.
We
tuck
believe
photos.
you, and now we have kids in the room, so definitely.
Oh yeah, no more tucking. No more tucking. What's up, Sarge?
Sarge is here, and there she goes.
All right, and there she goes.
Why are you still awake?
Yeah, why are you still awake, Sarge? Go to bed.
You definitely have school tomorrow.
She's going to be a terror to wake up. That's awesome.
That was a lot of fun, but I cut off several questions with Brooke just because she did not sound like she wanted to talk about the strike at all.
No.
Well, it sounds like she does have thoughts on it, but why air dirty laundry?
I know.
A little show like this.
I did like the fact that she was just like, no, I'm not a fan of that because I was gonna go there, but I thought, nope, I'm gonna back away from that one.
Very good by abiding by our guidelines that we were given. We weren't. He mentioned the character name that was told.
Well, no, we couldn't mention the character name in promotions.
Oh, in promotions. Oh,
yeah.
it was okay.
We could have mentioned.
We didn't do it anyway.
we could have mentioned it here, but
Yeah.
we didn't need to.
We didn't need
Everybody
to.
knows who she was. Yeah. I love interviews like that, though. That was
Well, it's
great.
just, you know what I'm saying? You think, what is this? And we get that's, I don't know. Is that the biggest star we've ever had? We keep raising the fucking bar, man. Pretty close.
Well, dude, she's in everything.
She's in
Like,
everything.
that fucking Jesus
Grey's
Christ.
Anatomy.
But when you're looking at something and
there
I
she
recognize
is.
that person.
She's in
That's
everything.
her.
Yeah.
She's literally in everything.
That's Daniel Roebuck. Right. Same fucking thing.
Yeah. So, I love it when, I see her in something, and I was looking back through her, just filmography.
Yeah.
The last couple of days, and I was like, I don't remember her in that, and I'd go and find an episode. And
There she is.
I do remember that. Yep. But we could have gone on about so many different things.
Well, we were told 20 minutes, and she stayed almost an hour. So, well done, boys. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just for future reference, we get to a cutoff time. I was going to be like, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Got to get right to it, man.
And that will instantly get them to leave the room.
That's right. Like I said, it's a good way. It's a good clean
I
cut.
think-
Like, all right.
We save that for when we got someone we don't like, but that never happens. We always have.
Well, I ask you guys your favorite dinosaur every fucking week, but yeah, here you are. So I said that don't work if it's somebody we don't like.
Yeah. Well,
Well, yeah.
You dick!
All right. I guess we can drop the news for next week.
Is that official?
At least two of them.
The two of them, right? Okay, yeah, fuck yeah, man. Let's see. We're not
Before we do it,
Oh, hold on.
Hi.
Hi,
All right.
Sarge.
That's
Wait.
it.
You know what I got to give her? Hang on a minute. Sarge, come here.
Oh Lord. Sarge.
no, stop yourself. She's going back upstairs. Please.
She's gone.
Let her go upstairs.
All right,
Chris, if you need to go, you can go. You don't have to hang out. So. Hold
Here we
on.
go.
Hold on.
She's
Hold on. Let
enjoying
me
the
talk to
show
you.
backstage.
What's going on, man? You can go.
I was just enjoying the show. It's like I will eventually depart. But,
Okay, we just don't normally have a guest sticking around in the green room, just like
Yes, like I said,
taking
I was like,
around.
oh wow, okay. I was going to listen for a few minutes and
All right.
make my way. So
Enjoy the wine and assorted cheeses, and yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
We'll talk
nice
soon.
nice Chianti.
There you go. All right.
No, thank you guys, man.
Yeah,
I am gonna peace out. It's about that time, and due to my lack of sleep, it's
Oh God.
Yeah, get some rest, man. Jesus.
it's time for some shut eye. But you guys enjoy the rest of the evening, and I will talk to you all soon.
See you,
All
bro.
right, and remind us when that next film comes out too.
Yeah.
I definitely will. I will
We're
keep you
here.
guys posted for sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Have a good one, man.
See ya.
Woo! All right, I just saw him still there, and I was like, maybe I should check on him. I don't know.
I appreciate him hanging in and making sure we're not talking smack about him. But we wouldn't do that.
No, of course not.
It's back to be
Of course
talking.
not.
It's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, we like Chris. Chris is good.
All right, next week, folks, September 11th, we are going to have a mini. So far, at least,
could be bigger.
It may grow.
It could grow.
But right now, we're going to have a mini Slumber Party Massacre reunion.
Yes.
Original. We've got a couple of people that are going to join us. Ziggy, tell them who.
Hang on. I don't have the damn thing.
Oh, son of a bitch.
So you're telling us next week's episode right now is a grower, not a shower, but it could change to a
That's
shower.
right.
And
Michelle Michaels and
Yes.
Deborah DeLiso
Right.
are the two that are confirmed.
But there's a couple other ones that we're interested in as well.
Yes, there's a couple that are still on the fence, I believe, trying to figure out schedules and everything. But that's what we're doing next week. And we also are going to have a little bonus show next week because, by God, Next week is our 5th anniversary, ladies and gentlemen.
5
Jesus
fucking years of
Christ.
these guys, man. How the fuck did that happen?
Why the hell am I still here with you fucking assholes? No, I
I'm
love
like
these guys.
Tom Savini. I'm like, but why?
But why?
But why?
But why?
Yeah,
Because-
next week,
Yeah.
we are celebrating our 5th anniversary with, the Slumber Party Massacre folks. And then Tuesday, the 12th, we're going to do, are we doing Friday or are we doing Texas Chainsaw? We're going to be doing some game streaming, which we haven't done in a while.
That's what we kind of started a little bit. We were heavy on the video games at the start of it, not by choice. It was just what we did. That's where these.
Well, it was
it's what started the podcast. I wouldn't
Right,
say we were
right.
heavy on it.
Genesis. It's honoring the humble beginnings.
right. So we'll probably play some Friday the 13th the game.
Let's start
at
with some
least
Friday
for a little bit.
because actually next year on the 6th anniversary we technically could play Friday probably for the last time.
Probably for the last time.
Yeah, because it's going away after in the following December.
Right.
But and then the Texas Chainsaw game has come out, and yeah, we could do that. I guess we could play some cards if we wanted to, but whatever. We could. That's what it's going to be. Just a little bonus audio stream. I don't think there'll be any video going on, will there?
Not of us, but I
game.
mean, we'll have video of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going old school on this.
Old school
Yeah, I'm not going to deal with trying to
OBS.
get
and all that shit.
OBS and all that stuff put together in that amount of time. I'm too busy with other stuff. So,
Word.
man, but yeah, we got a couple of other things in the works for the future. Hopefully everything works out with that.
There's a bunch of shit. It's right there, man. It's like how you got the conveyor belts coming at you and it's rolling and everything starts piling on the edge, or that coin push game at the fucking arcade.
You see that
Everything's
one?
fucking, it's right there, man.
Yeah.
It's teetering, but we can't say shit because nothing's official yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
And-
this close.
You're gonna get a whole avalanche of announcements or nothing.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna parse it out piece by piece, just the way we always do. But yeah,
I
gonna
meant
be a
to
lot of
say
fun.
A whole avalanche, or sorry, I was
I wondered when we were gonna get to
Yeah,
that.
the interview always kind of takes that away. We don't fuck around
Yeah,
with
we
the
can't.
too much when we got somebody as prestigious as Brooke Smith on the show.
Dude, she's had such a stellar fucking career, and I'm
And if she is
I'm
single,
glad
hey,
she was here.
I'm down.
Jesus Christ. I'm just glad she was here, because that is pretty fucking cool to have
That is cool.
her on the show. you
Yeah.
know?
Really fucking cool.
Maybe not the most well-known name,
No,
and
but
I'm not knocking her, but when
Pedigree.
you see her, you go, oh fuck,
I
yeah,
know her.
yeah.
And
So-
I just dude, it's just cool that the people of that irk are giving
Ilk.
this show a look.
Not irk. They get irked after they're on
Ilk.
the show.
Ilk.
Ilk.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the fuck?
Yeah, irked as well. Yeah, one look at the colonel and they're like, "What the fuck am I doing here?
What am I here for?
What am I here?"
Dude, I think that every fucking Monday. It's insane.
Yep.
But yeah,
I'll be
so
honest though, man, Buffalo Bill's house. He said the well's 4 foot deep.
you're gonna tower out of that shit.
I'm gonna be like, look, I'm getting on my fucking knees.
I think you have to kind of think you'll have to sit down or get on your knees for the photo ops and stuff like that. But it looks pretty cool though.
That does
Dude.
look
Go
cool, man.
if you haven't watched the recent video where Tom Savini went back and checked it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat because Tom actually falls in the well. That was funny as shit.
But why? Yeah.
But why?
Tom Savini. We've met him a dozen times. He's signed a dozen things for us. He never fucking remembers us.
He does. I think he does.
I think it's funny. I just like it because we get an ID from him every time, and he says the same shit.
I think he remembers us. It took him a few times, but I think
Yeah.
he remembers us.
Well, you gotta remember how many people these guys
Yeah.
see on the circuit. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, but that logo, that the brand recognition is. We saw him a bunch of times in a row there at first, and he was always like "Death Curse Society," it just wasn't sticking.
I think that's just part of his shtick, too. especially since we've heard he does the same thing with other shows.
Yes,
So.
we found out that he does the same, but why bit with other podcasts as
Right.
well. But that's okay. We've taken that bit and ran with it. We've got like 3 of them, so.
Right. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Dude,
Please send them home.
I'm fucking goddamn stoked. Slumber Party Massacre, a completely underrated slasher. And yeah, we're trying to get the driller killer himself too, but not confirmed. He's not confirmed. We're trying.
Fucking loose lips sink ships. How many times do we have to tell you this?
No, this is age is our enemy with this guy. But if the tech is there, he'll be there. That's what we're at with that. So, but
I'm not telling you anything
Party
anymore.
Massacre, huh?
I'm not telling you anything anymore.
It's in ClickUp.
All I gotta do is put it in ClickUp. You'll never see it.
Yeah, right. No, but I'm stoked, man, because this is like one of those. Some people call it a second-tier movie, but it's a good slasher, man. It's cool, and it was supposed to be the anti-exploitation movie, but didn't really make it in that message. I don't think. You know, it kind of it's a tongue-in-cheek joke of itself, but I mean, some good kills in it, and I'm very, very excited to talk to both of these gals on Monday,
and maybe more,
and you know, but you know, you never know. But this is going to be cool. It's going to be a really good time. We had fun tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, watch that movie this week so you can be fresh on it, and don't watch the remake. Go to 1982 and watch that one, because that's what it's about. And that's all I got to say about that. Join us. It's going to be a blast. More to come.
Or watch the remake, because the remake may get brought up. I want to know their thoughts on the remake.
Well, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But it, you know, it draws a lower level of anger that the Fog remake did out of me, because I was like, God damn, that's not good. You know, I mean, compared to what the original was.
Tarek says Zag is DCS as Tom Holland, just dropping spoilers like it's a hashtag.
Hashtag Driller Killer.
Would you stop?
Jesus.
Everybody wants the Driller
Good
Killer.
God. Colonel, send them out.
Man, you know what? Tonight was a lot of fun with Chris and Brooke. It was a blast. And it was a blast reliving Silence of the Lambs, because I'll be honest, this was the first time I watched a movie in probably close to 20 years.
Wow.
Really?
Silence of the Lambs is kind of like one of the introduction horror movies, really, now. It's like, it's so old. It's like, okay, check this out, because it's not real hardcore on the horror.
Dude.
But it's still a great fucking movie. I had a blast talking to them. Yes, Slumber Party Massacre reunion next week is going to be fucking awesome. I'm looking forward to watching that movie again for the first time, and it's only been like 2 years. But still a refresher course. Make sure you get people do your homework. And yeah, some words of wisdom from the Colonel before I go. Kids are back in school, you know, just remind them, you know, boys, don't get sick. Wash that dick. And once they get older, don't smell like a Scuba Steve. Use Summer's Eve. And I'm going to modify one last bit of information here for you. I know this old saying is, you know, 2 can keep a secret if one's dead. Well, apparently 3 can keep a secret if one's dead. Zigzag, stop spoiling shit. Been warned.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
He really
should. Yes, you should.
People want.
From now on, we're going to tell you. I can't cue it up. Nothing.
Cue it up. It's right there.
I'm not there.
No, I'm not there either. So I just named. Jesus Christ.
I was like, wrong one, asshole, but I'm so glad you picked that one.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even fucking matter anymore.
I can get like 2 of them, and then the third time he goes, wah! It just tears you down. It's too much. It's a cannonball.
It's too much.
All right. last piece of business we got to take care of. Thanks once again to our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Tyrone, our crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors, 42nd Street, Pete, Corey, Luke, Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you, guys. And if you want to become a member, check us out at deathcursesociety.com. Head on over to the join page, and there's we need to change a few things around on it, but there's a new section, or there's a section there where you can find out what you can do to help support the Death Curse Society. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and one last time, thanks to our associate producer, FaZe, who showed up a little late tonight. What?
No one got a point. You're pointed, buddy. That's one.
Yeah,
that's
4
one.
Get it right up. Just know this.
Wow, 4? That's a lot. My
that's
God.
lenient.
5, man.
That's
you get 5, you get written up.
Is that what
All
the
right.
French overlords give you?
No.
What? Oh yeah, you get 5 points. That's a fucking write up.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Oh, it's currently wrapped up.
A fucking
They,
still wrapped. Jesus
man,
Christ.
dude, that
He's all
tattoo
excited.
artist is nuts. Let me give you a point of advice. Anybody getting a tattoo, be wary of an artist that doesn't have any visible tattoos on their body. That's not like under a shirt or something. My artist had nothing, and he's over here stabbing the
What do you
shit
have?
out of me. So I mean, I feel like I bled out more than necessary.
Wait, he had what?
He had
No
no
tats.
tattoos, nothing.
Okay.
Exactly.
Last time, I promise, guys. At least for a minute.
So I don't know.
All right.
He was good. The art tattoo looks great. I just
It looks
don't know
great,
if he
yeah.
knows how much pressure to put on because he doesn't have that experience himself. I don't know.
Is it a young dude?
Ah.
Not really. He said he had over 10 years of experience doing it. So I don't know.
Well,
Bro, I had a-
knocked him the fuck out yet for going too deep.
Dude, I had a biker do one on this shoulder. I felt nothing, and then
Sure. I mean, the one I have here is totally fine. I have a little tattoo
Yeah.
right here.
a novice
it
did
was
this
nothing.
one, dude. And I swear to God, when my skin decays away and it's just bones left, that image is gonna be on my fucking skeleton arm, dude. That's how deep he fucking stabbed me.
Jesus.
Man.
All right.
So I feel you, brother. That sucks. Hopefully you heal up good.
What
Yeah,
what else you got going on, FaZe?
Not a whole lot.
All right, next.
You see, now that's funny.
We got to wrap up the show anyway, so it's okay.
I just wasn't sure. I go, boy, that's really tight if he does that now, boy. And then he did it. Great. I'm proud of you.
We got to wrap it up. We're gonna be talking to him here in like 20 minutes anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Join us next week for Monday Maniacs and Death Curse Society with the Slumber Party Massacre original couple of cast members. Should be a good time. And, of course, make sure to head on over to BuffaloBillsHouse.com. Get your tuck on and get your tickets for Brooke Smith at the Buffalo Bills house. Gang.
Are going fast.
Tickets are going fast. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Love y'all. Woo!